Court. We are here at the infamous Warren B. Rudman complex, and I have this packet. I got it linked in the description for those of you that want to read it. It's a super important motion in this lawsuit that I have ongoing. Pretty groundbreaking discovery. You guys should have seen that little live that I did about the 602-page PDF that has all the Fusion database reports. Not all of them. We need to actually get the rest of them that go along with this lawsuit. So there should be another 4 years worth of tracking and tracing available to us. And that's what this motion is about, trying to force discovery. I sent an email earlier to the government attorneys, and I shared the documents with them so that they are on notice of the 602-page PDF proving my case and demanding for similar discovery in the rest of the case. Because this discovery that I shared, the 602 pages, is not from this lawsuit. It's from a different lawsuit that I'm not a part of. It's a state level lawsuit, Domenico versus O'Brien. She was the she was a Newfields police officer. What's going on here? You got a bike. So let me stamp these before I forget, and then I'll continue rambling. If anybody has any questions, shoot them off in the chat. What's up, constitutional freedom fighter? Boom. So I don't want to stamp this. Boom. Stamp the envelope for good measure. All right, so that is in there. And definitely read that. It's not very long. It basically gives you the rundown of the whole situation here. Pretty big deal, I think. The 602 pages that literally prove everything we've been saying. It's now coming to a head here 5 years later, just under 5 years after peak COVID-19 madness and tyranny here in New Hampshire. And I'm sure they were doing this all across the country. So this is a case study that's probably not very unique. And they're still doing it to this day. Matter of fact, all this, data harvesting and monitoring of our social media, it's going to get worse. It's going to be way more than that. They're going to connect all this Fusion Center stuff with all of your personal financial information, all the debt that you have, and then all of that is also going to go into your threat score and your threat assessment when they just comb all of the data, public data that they have access to. So this whole, Peter Thiel and Palantir, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And, he was connected to Epstein, and Trump is pushing this track and trace agenda. So I know there's a lot of Trump fans, a lot of my friends are Trump fans, but he's making some really bad moves. Yes, 1984 on steroids. Down the memory hole. They're just going to want to digitize everything, and then they can make you disappear, everything about you disappear, all your comments disappear. It's pretty scary stuff. If you're not aware of Palantir, 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 You guys got to go look it up, and you got to see if you have a fusion center in your area. I'm sure you do. There's 79 of these fusion centers across the country, and they all work with Homeland Security. We know Homeland Security very well from this channel because they stole my phone here in this courthouse. And then they kept it for 15 months now and want to erase a video that I took because they think it's crime. They think recording in court is a crime, and they think holding our government accountable is a crime. So that's basically it. Just a quick little live, say what's up, let you guys know what I'm doing. I am literally non-stop motions, filing the motions, going to court, all that stuff. I was at court early this morning, right? Is it today the same day? Yeah, I think today's the same day. I uploaded that video from earlier. That's for the unlawful towing. So that's going to be a trial for unregistered vehicle and another uninspected trial. So we're going to reiterate that whole uninspected thing. I'll probably get deeper into it with this guy because he's such an a-hole during the stop and for towing my vehicle that I'm going to go extra on the questions and lots of freestyle follow-ups for this trial. I haven't checked my mail yet, and so I don't know if I've gotten a check from Dunbarton over that reasonableness hearing, but I should hear something this week. I'm going to check my mail Friday probably, and I'll let you guys know if anything happens. So that, yeah, I actually noticed that YouTube has been holding back comments from the videos, just like the public comments. I don't know about these. Apparently they're doing it with the live chat as well, but they're holding back comments, and I literally just figured out how to look at held comments and release them, and so I've been doing that. I've been releasing all the held comments. It's not me. I apologize if anyone's comments are getting held by, this is part of YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff is all part of, the tracking and tracing and the monitoring. And like I said in that live yesterday, I knew what they were doing, but I didn't realize, until you see the reports, it's scary. It is scary what they're doing and why they're doing it. So, yeah, they were tracking everyone. All these different protests, political protests, zero threats in any of them. In the current set of documents that I have, 0 threats at any of my planned events, on any of my posts, in any of my groups, anything, and yet they still planned enforcement actions and executed enforcement actions because they're masters at the disorderly conduct statute, page 44. So it's not here in this comments, but it's in the live stream that I did yesterday. Look at page 44, and there are some redactions in this file as well. I'm going to be working on getting those redactions unredacted. Maybe the judge will have to review in camera. If you don't know what that means, it means they look at it and they determine whether or not I should get to see it. But there are also entire pages redacted with the page number redacted as well. They're not supposed to do that, right? They're not supposed to redact, it's called the Bates number on all the discovery, but there are at least 2 completely redacted pages. So when you see a black page, that is a completely redacted page. All right. So, yes, I am live. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm not going to be on here long. They seem to forget the celebrities on Epstein's list. So the Epstein thing is not going away. Thankfully, it shouldn't go away. We need some answers on that. it's like, you know, there's so much behind that. Like I said, Peter Thiel, Palantir. Look at the Peter Thiel and Epstein connections. Just Google it and research it yourself. Millions, tens of millions of dollars Epstein put into Peter Thiel's, one of his things, and they are deeply, deeply entwined. And I think Epstein's still alive. My personal belief is that Epstein is still alive. I have a well-researched theory. I posted a lot of the information on my personal Facebook page, but it's a lot. It's a lot of research on all the players, the guards. I even did deep research on the two guards that were supposedly watching Epstein that fell asleep, and both of those guys knew the surveillance system enough and all that, and they both were in a position to be blackmailed. And something you need to know about that jail is that in the past, like 10 years, they've had, I want to say, 22 successful escapes from that jail. And 19 of them are still at large and unaccounted for. So if you don't think if Epstein could have escaped, 22 people already did in the recent past, and most of them still at large from that jail. So look into that. I think that's the real thing. They want us to think he's dead. They want us to think he was either murdered or he committed suicide. So there's multiple layers to the propaganda and the deception. They have the official narrative and then the cover narrative, you know, just like with the JFK assassination too. They have the official narrative. It was a lone shooter, you know, Oswald, whatever. And then the other cover story was that, oh, there was a guy on the grassy knoll. And so it's like, oh, maybe there's a guy on the, and they want you to think one of those two things. They don't want you to think deeper than that. Okay, that's how this stuff works. And so they don't want you to think Epstein could be alive. And he is. I guarantee it. I'm willing to, like, I mean, I bet my ass. So I know I spend a lot of time here at the courthouse. See, Boston Ray, Mud Flood Adventures, appreciate your comments all the time, brother. Wheelox World, Truth Grenade, Eagle Boy Edwards, what's up? So yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna say goodnight and head back home. He's alive for sure. Yes, Epstein is alive. I have zero doubt, and that's one of the reasons why, think about it, if he's alive, they can't release any of the files. They don't have the files. Epstein has the files. Ask yourself why. 2 days before he supposedly killed himself or died, or was killed or whatever happened, he put a trust together and sent all and put all his funds into a trust. Is that something that somebody that's going to kill themselves does? No, of course not. And what would that be helpful for? Well, it would help him preserve all of his assets. It would help him preserve all of his assets and be able to utilize them still through all of these intermediaries and third parties. Okay, so there's that piece as well. And what else is there? There was something else I wanted to say, but yeah, he's alive. He is alive. Epstein's alive. Boom, boom. He didn't kill himself. I think they killed him. Maybe. I don't think so, though, because, oh, that's what I was going to say. Another thing is, so the day of he died, or the day after he died, killed or escaped, whatever, conveniently, that's the first time that the FBI raids the island. It was people dressed as FBI, and maybe some of them were FBI. I'm sure one of them was. Maybe. We don't even know. Could have been a bunch of IDF agents dressed as FBI. Okay? Could have been Epstein himself dressed as an FBI agent leading a team of IDF to go secure the blackmail. That's what makes the most sense to me. That blackmail is no good when it's used or revealed, and the blackmail is still being leveraged. All that leverage is still being utilized, and America's been captured. America has been captured for decades. And if you don't realize that, the media has been captured, the government's been captured, the entire country has been captured by a foreign entity known as the State of Israel, terrorist organization. Got my Palestine shirt on, not playing games right now. So, yeah, research that too if you have any questions. Oh, Hamas, 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 you're a Hamas supporter. No, I'm not a Hamas supporter. I'm a freedom supporter, and I don't believe in stealing people's land and starving them and killing children because these children are allegedly Hamas supporters, and they're also killing journalists and calling them Hamas supporters. And the babies they kill, they're calling them Hamas supporters. So, you know what I mean? All that is not gonna affect me in any way. So they're all in on it. Yeah, the Federal Reserve, atrocities are being committed. I seen the reporter, I forget his name, but he's like the third one. There was a whole team of well-known Palestinian press, reporters, and they just drone striked this dude. They just drone striked and blew him to bits. And I seen, it's all on X. You can go to X and look on X, and the videos are there of him, a bloody mess, and a bunch of other collateral damage. People got taken out in the process as well. So that's another thing. The whole weaponized, the drones, drone warfare. They're being made right here in my state by Elbit Systems in Merrimack. It's an Israeli company, and they make these weaponized exploding suicide drones. And once they have this Palantir thing all set up, they can just put your Facebook profile in there and send out a few drones to come after you, and you're done. You are done. Yep. One state solution. I think it was Palestine. And it's funny because they try to say, oh, Palestine didn't exist. Palestine never existed. Well, it's funny because Jacob Rothschild was said to have been given Palestine to create his little Israel in 1948, Balfour Declaration. So how are they going to give him Palestine if there was no Palestine? Doesn't even make any sense. So that's it. Maybe I should do a whole thing on, I don't have time for it, but you guys should totally research the Palestine situation objectively. And that whole narrative is falling apart. The noticing from people is increasing, which is good. There's increased noticing of, the pattern in the facts. So AVR Works, what's up, brother? Got you. You already know. That's it. I'm gonna sign off. It's been about 20 minutes here, and I'm gonna go get some sleep, wake up tomorrow, and reassess my situation and figure out what my next preparations need to be for the trials. I got 2 trials coming up for some stupid little traffic things, little side quests, and I'll be waiting for the appeal on my phone and the motion to return and secure my property. They did actually file an objection on that a couple days ago about preserving my phone and the evidence on it. I haven't even read it. I saw it when I was in there today, but I didn't print off a copy. So the phone appeal is in the First Circuit, and I am waiting to get the phone back. I will be getting the phone back. Whether or not it has the video on it is yet to be determined. And then we have this New Hampshire 9 lawsuit. I still have a lot of work to do indexing the 602 pages. I ran out of tokens with my ChatGPT, and so I'm going to have to buy some more tokens to run the agent and continue fully indexing the entire 602 pages. And it's crazy. So that 602 pages is from, less than a year. And we're talking about like four and a half years of surveillance. So should probably get another 3,500 pages at least. I would say that would be reasonable. 2,500 to 4,000 tops. I don't see there being more than that, but there is a lot more than just that 600 pages, and that 600 pages should be enough to, really make people concerned. And I highly suggest you go to that previous live stream that I did yesterday and look at that 602 pages. It is, shocking, absolutely shocking. It's stuff we kind of already knew, but it's now we have proof. We have actual proof of it. So go check that out. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much.